Hey friends, it's Amanda. Welcome back for more Altenew inspiration with the A Touch of Whimsy video hop, which is celebrating the Whimsical Wonders stamps, dies and more release. I'm focusing on the Marbled Bloom and A Love of Stripes Set D paper pack products from that release, as well as the Quiet Reflections mini ink cubes. And the reason I do is because the mini ink cubes colors, they match perfectly. Absolutely perfect match for the Love of Stripes paper. So I thought that would be a really, made sense to me, a no-brainer. So the Marbled Bloom stamp was my absolute favorite in this release. I just instantly fell in love with these gorgeous layered florals. And, you know, when it comes to layered florals, nobody comes close to Altenew. They are the leaders in the industry when it comes to layered florals. They are just divine. And I couldn't resist. So I've got the die, I've got the stencil, I've got my stamping conditioner. I am ready to get stamping with you today. So I'm going to start with this gorgeous floral stamp, and I wanted to do this on camera just to show you how easy it is to make these gorgeous layered florals, because I know some people think, oh, it's too slow, it takes forever. It's not. It's a matter of minutes and they're done and they're fabulous. So the stamps are all labeled, so I'm starting with the obviously with what's numbered as A1, and then I'm coming in with the lightest color in my mini ink cubes, which happen to be the Northern Shore colors, the gorgeous blues, and then I'm just following through, getting darker and darker. Now if you get stuck, there's a layering guide inside the stamp, and I love that. I actually find that late at night I sometimes find it difficult to line up my stamps. I don't know if it's because it's dark or just my eyes aren't as they used to be. Let's hope it's the first one, but I like to refer to the layering guide so I can make sure my florals are perfect each and every time. So oh, look, that's looking great already, and I haven't really done anything yet. So just adding in the third color now. Lots of color, lots of detailing, and just following through on that stamp set. Do you know what? I think I'm repeating the same one there actually, because I wanted a bit more depth of color. That looks like the same one. There we go. So that's the second one. So the second one I did actually stamp twice. And that might have just been I wasn't happy with my print. Here's the third color now. This is gorgeous. Look at this. They're so pretty. That muted blue is just divine. I love blue. It's no secret, but the Northern Shore inks, I absolutely adore them. In fact, the whole Quiet Reflections mini ink cube bundle is just amazing. I've used it a lot, so I highly recommend that one. And here's the last color now, just lining it up. At the base there it tells me, so I'll line it up at the base, and on it goes. So really, really simple. If you perhaps didn't have a color for your center, you could easily use some artist markers or your Altenew paints to fill the centers, but I'm going to use the Pocketful of Sunshine mini ink cubes, those gorgeous yellow ones, and the colors I'll use for those centers are maple yellow and honey drizzle. So those two gorgeous colors there. And look, simple, really, really easy. Hasn't taken me very long. Oh, and as you can see at the top left of the screen, I've got quite a few there. So I actually tend to do mine in batches. So I will spend an afternoon where I just stamp a whole bunch of florals, and I'll repeat them maybe 8 or 10 times, because I like to keep them for card making as well. So I do love making scrapbook layouts, but I do love to give beautiful cards, and nothing says beauty quite like Altenew florals. So yeah, they're really lovely. So I'll stamp up a whole batch just like this one here. There you go. Oh, look at that. So detailed, so beautiful. And then I'll do a batch of die cutting, and perfect. Keep them in a little envelope until I'm ready to use them all. So lots of gorgeous colors there. Now for the leaves, I used the lighter colors, starting from I think it's Marshland is the lightest one. I'm working my way through. I hadn't used the Martian Terrain colors yet though, and so I thought I would start with Pastel Sunrise, and I wanted to show a really fun technique for mixed media using them. So I'm just stamping up my acrylic block like so, and then just a bit of water. Look at this, so simple, and you'll be amazed at how really cool this looks. This is really good for people who are perhaps a bit mixed media phobic. Look at that, just smear your colour straight on and go again. And the great thing about this, because it's not a lot of water and it's not a heavy paint, you don't need to gesso your page or use a heavy cardstock. It's just really simple, straight on, smear and go. So look at that, so beautiful. It's really lovely. And I am using my brand new Altenew paintbrushes. I absolutely love these brushes. They're so good. So I've used the round bristled ones, and I think they're really lovely. So yes, so that's my that's my beautiful base. I've gone and used an old die from Altenew, which is the Fine Frames diamond set for my photo. I'm going to use the mandala builder set, but I'll show you. I've got a bit of a, I'm not really going to use a mandala, but I've got a plan for that one. And then just picking out my Love for Stripes papers that I'm going to use in my layout. I think I'll use those two lighter tones. And really at the moment, this is just me planning out what I'll do for my scrapbook layout. And sometimes a plan is straight away in my head straight instantly, and other times it takes me a moment or two. So sometimes the planning is a bit consuming actually, because I get caught up in all the pretty things, and then I have to remind myself that sometimes there can be too much and I have to pull back. Yeah, but you can see this is just stunning already. The colors are divine, and I'm really happy with how this is looking. Using the diamond fine frame was perfect because of the direction I made that mixed media base travel in as well. It almost has almost a sort of diamond shape to it. It's definitely going to be a beautiful vertical design. And then on the left and right hand sides of my vertical design, I'm going to have those Love for Stripes papers, and I'm going to trim them to 1.5 inches each, and then of course by 6 inches, and then I'll butt them together so that you can't actually tell that they're 6-inch paper, and they'll hopefully give the illusion of being a beautiful 12-inch paper for my scrapbook page today. So just fussing around with those gorgeous leaves at the moment, getting my foliage right, making sure the blooms are in the right spots. I might tuck some in down the sides. I like the idea of perhaps popping some blooms on each edge. Look, I'll pop that paper in as well, just to give myself, yeah, see, I need a visual before I can go forward sometimes. Yeah, I think I love this. I think I like that idea. I'm thinking of using Canyon Clay and Pastel Sunrise for the stencil detailing, but you know what? I end up only using Pastel Sunrise, and that's because I decided that when I started, I should always start light, because you can always add more. You can't take it away, and I thought start with the lightest colour first, and it actually is quite dark, or darker than I intended, so I stick with just that one. So remember I said I wasn't going to actually make the mandala, so I've sort of planned out where I'm going to pop it, and I've got my new detailed ink blending tools. And yeah, look, I'm just going to move all my plan away now, now that I know what I'm doing. And then, yeah, I'll start with the lightest colour first. And these tools are really fantastic for on small fine stencils like this one. It made it so quick and easy. So look, there you go. Now it does look quite circular, but this is where I start to change things up, because I wanted to have almost like a rim around my photo. Like I needed that circular sort of design to start with. And now I'm just going to come in and be all random with those beautiful little leaf shapes. And on we go. And there you go, look at that. Isn't that stunning? And you can see that was just with Pastel Sunrise. So I don't end up using the Canyon Clay colour, because the aim is that it's soft and subtle and not, it doesn't distract from my photograph. So there we go. Now just folding my paper at an estimated 1 inch mark, and yeah, I'm tearing it straight down the side. I want a really messy distressed look for this, because it is a boy page still, and the colours are quite soft and pretty, and there's florals, and I just needed some texture to add some masculinity for my son. I felt it needed it, and of course I do love the texture. I think I'm partial to a bit of texture. So there we go, look at that. That's going to look really cool. So as I said, I'll cut those paper strips into, well, I'll cut the striped paper into 1.5 inch strips, and then butt the two 6-inch lengths together like so. There you go, it's already done on camera. I've taped them on the back. I did think about stitching down the side. I would have loved some machine stitching, but while I was considering the idea, I remembered I wanted to pop, yeah, the blooms in, and if I had stitched, I wouldn't have been able to perhaps move the paper quite so easily, because you know sometimes you've got to, yeah, wriggle them in a little bit. So I thought that this way I could get more movement and more flow out of my page. So I didn't machine stitch it, but I like how rough and ready it looks. It's given it a soft bit of texture. Like it, you see it's messy, but it looks so pretty when it's finished. So I don't think it really matters that I tore the paper and it's a bit rough, but that's okay. Yeah, look, I'm just going to add those florals to the sides. I think they're really, really gorgeous. And because you've seen my plan now, I'm just going to speed this up just a little bit because I need to put it all back in place before I can stick it down. And it gets a little tedious to watch, I think. So, or at least for me it does. So I'm sure for you it would as well. But yeah, but you still get to see the footage then. So the plan changes ever so slightly, but you know, it always does. It never quite goes back in the same spot, but you get the idea. So I love that. I think it's looking really lovely. So I'm going to start sticking things down. I have foam mounted my photo just so it's slightly raised, and so those flowers tuck in a little more carefully. Look at that. Oh, looking really good. I'm actually quite happy with how this has turned out. I love this stenciling. I love the colours, and the blooms are just divine. So yeah, I am really happy with this one actually. It's really, really gorgeous. Now, because the stamp is of course the real focus of my layout today, or the real product focus that I'm having anyway, I wanted to use one of the sentiments, and I picked out the words "You're incredible" because it really does tell the story. And of course there is a letter for my son on the back of the layout as well. So yeah, Glacier Caves Enamel Dots. I felt like it needed a little more pop of blue. I felt it was getting a little bit too peachy and pink and soft, and just needed, yeah, just a bit more blue to cut through all that softness, because it is a boy page after all. So just adding a few of the Glacier Caves Enamel Dots. And then as much as I love what I've got here, I felt like it was missing something, and you'll see me tap my fingers on the screen in a minute because I get really frustrated. I can see it looks finished, but it needs something more. And so I actually decide to do a repeat shadow stamp of the word incredible. So here we go. See, I'm tapping my fingers. It was bothering me. It's very silly. But yeah, I like the word incredible. I thought it would look really good if I shadow stamped it. But you know, I'm so fussy that I have to practice a few times first just to make sure I get the right level of colour, because I don't want it to stand out. I want it to be really soft, but I still want it to be visible. There we go. So you can see it's just really soft, like a shadow. It's very delicate, and I think it just gives it that finishing touch. It's just, yeah, travelling down the page. Incredible, incredible, incredible. You're incredible. And honestly, my boys are. They are super. So yeah, look, that's my layout today. So lots of beautiful close-ups coming for you now. I hope you stick around for those. Don't forget to leave a comment, enter our fantastic video hop with all the amazing prizes. And thanks so much for watching and playing along with us today. Have yourself a wonderful, happy arty days. And thank you, Altenew, for having me join you today. Bye.